Welcome to Disstrackted.
Welcome.
Today, you're with your host, Jag, a.k.a. Santos.
Me, Gugs.
And we got some pretty exciting shit for you. Some shit that we've been wanting to talk about. The hip-hop world's a little bit on the dead side, but we found some shit that was worth talking, I think, worth mentioning. We wanted to start off with some Nip and Diddy do it or Diddy not, and some other things. So let's start off with rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle.
R.I.P. Nip.
We got it in the background here spinning. 5 years as of yesterday. Pretty fucked up shit if you really recall what happened and the murder and whatnot.
Yeah, I think like everyone kind of knows the story now. The story's been told a million times, and it's just like it's tragic.
So much.
Yeah,
but a lot of celebrities been posting him. It's good to see that he's still on people's mind. And,
yeah, it's crazy to think like his impact in, at the time it's really weird because maybe not a lot of people knew who he was when he died. He wasn't so mainstream, but it's nice to see that all these celebrities, musicians, peers, all these people, they're still keeping his legacy alive. They're still saying R.I.P. Nip, posting his pictures, like celebrating his life, his legacy, his music.
He had a big impact, man. Like I was a longtime fan from before, and then I sort of fizzled out in between there for a bit. I think when you start DJing and doing other shit, you just get caught up in a lot of other focuses for music. But like when I got back into it, I was like, fuck, like that feeling of like, yo, Nipsey was a shit. Like, like why did I ever stop listening to him? Not necessarily stop, but like why did I ever even just take a break from listening to him?
Yeah, I remember like when I first discovered Nip, actually a friend of mine put me on him, and he was like, yo, check out this guy. And man, I remember hearing Hustle in the House for the first time. I was like, when Hustle in the House first came out, I was like, this is so hard. Like the sample, the crisscross beat, like it was crazy. Like right when I heard it, I was like, look, I'm kind of straight out of Slauson, crazy motherfucker named Nipsey. Like, I'm turned up because I grew up in the 60s. Like, I was like, this is so hard.
He believed, like, he lived that lifestyle. He wasn't even, like, fucking fronting or anything. He was straight up about it.
And it's crazy, like how his look, just like how authentic, everything. He carried himself. Like, his sound, all of it.
He was down with the shit. What do you think about Nipsey's effect on the music industry?
It's crazy to think because like I mentioned earlier, like you saw the impact after he died, right? It's like how much people I think that's when everyone realized he was so underappreciated because everybody showed love. And like you look at like the magnitude of like his funeral alone, right? They had it at Staples Center, Crypto Arena, like that's huge. That's huge for like an independent artist, and like for a guy that really had like one major studio album. Everything else is kind of like mixtape and like independent drops, all that stuff. Like it's crazy to think the impact that he had.
Huge impact. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'll be right back here. Just looking at the whole Nipsey shit, I felt like we just had to pull out the 42 and give him a cheers for his life. Cause fuck, Nipsey was it, man.
Yeah, we can go with that. And like man, I'm a big Nip fan. Like it hit hard when he died. Like I remember, I'll never forget. Like waking up, I messaged you. I remember that. I messaged you. I'm like, yo, like what the fuck? And I think you either weren't by your phone or you weren't awake or something at that time. Because I remember you didn't respond right away. I was just like, it was so out of left field. It wasn't something that I don't know. Like well, I mean, maybe that's a kind of common sense statement to say, but like if you're a fan of Nip, like it hit hard.
They call you the fuck off guard.
Yeah,
man.
And you're like, what? Like it was just so out of nowhere.
And the way it happened,
especially like the ascent that he was on, like
he was fucking going for the stars, man. He was at the moon, like he was shooting up there. He
had a victory lap, was Grammy nominated. Like that's crazy.
Which is crazy.
best rap album it was nominated for. And man, I remember when that first came out, like I was listening on repeat over and actually this is so weird. I remember exactly what I was doing when it came out. I was repainting my house.
Oh shit!
So I was just playing it over and over and over, listening to it on my Bose speaker. And like literally, I just have the album on repeat, and I'm just painting.
Yeah, you know what? Like hearing that album made me a huge fan once again.
Yeah,
it really made me be like,
it.
yo, like fucking Nipsey was just fucking something else, you know. I know this is controversial. Okay, I do this like I try to do this every episode because I love controversy. But I truly feel this: would Nipsey be as big as he was if he didn't die?
So, you know, that's weird to think because, like we had mentioned, he's coming off a Grammy-nominated album, right?
Yeah.
And also, he was on that DJ Khaled song.
DJ Khaled, John Legend.
That's
Higher.
actually a big look, right? Like, say what you want about DJ Khaled. We kind of mentioned him jokingly before. But man, that's a huge look, right? When you're on a DJ Khaled single, that's like it's introducing you to mainstream, you know? Like, he has songs with, like, Justin Bieber, Khaled does.
Quavo,
Bieber, like, he's always doing... And even that song...
SZA, Future.
Right. He works with, like, the who's who of... He got Jay-Z and Nas together on a song. Like,
yeah, and that's like, and the other shit we said that's like modern day. That's not even like that run that like Rose, Drake, Wayne, all these guys had. Future had, like all these guys.
Right.
That's like a whole nother like No New Friends, all that. Ironic, No New Friends, Khaled, Drake, all these guys like fucking Distracted once again. But yeah, no, I think I personally feel Nip wouldn't be as big as he was. I don't think there would be murals everywhere, die-hard fans, marathon closing selling out. That's not saying Nip wasn't worthy of it. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying any of that shit because Nip definitely, like, he deserves everything he earned. But I feel like death is one of those things that everybody fucks with you once you're gone.
I think there's also something to be said about, like, yeah, that for sure, right? It's like how I mentioned earlier, like, people realize how underappreciated he was, and that's why he was so celebrated when he passed. But also, it's like he passed as he was still hitting his stride.
He was going, exactly.
Yeah, it's not like he like burnt out or you know what I mean, and then he died. It was like, damn, like everyone was like he was like right there.
And the way he died, like he was. You know, and the thing I will respect about Nip the most is the fact that he repped his hood till the day he fucking died. You know, he stayed true to his shit. He did not leave that hood. People used to tell him, like, get the fuck out of here, you know, sell out, go to wherever you want to go. He was like, fuck that. He stayed, like, loyal to the soil, I guess you want to call it.
But that shows two different things, in my opinion. Like, for one, it shows the person that he was, though, because he really, really was invested in... Like, that just goes to show why people love him, right? Like, he was really invested in where he came from, and he wanted to do good, which is so crazy, right? But he did it in his own way. But then it also shows, like they say, right? Like, don't love the streets because the streets don't love you back.
Yeah.
And it's always like, when it happens to you as someone that's, like, close to you, as someone that, you know what I mean? That's why they always say, like, get out of there. Like, don't stay in your hood. Don't, like you have the means to get out. Don't be there.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I'll never disagree with that.
Yeah, like, I don't know what the right answer is. Well, I mean, in this instance, it's like, well, we know the outcome, so maybe the answer was, like, don't be there.
Yeah. I don't want to drag out Nipsey's name too long.
Yeah.
You know, I want to keep it in the positive. So I'll end it with this. What was one of your favorite Nipsey songs or albums?
Ooh. I think you know what? Actually, yeah, I know my favorite Nipsey song is Sound of My Ceremony. I love that song.
Shit.
Like,
yeah.
I'll listen to that heavy. Like, it motivates me. It's like, I think it's really dope. Like, that's like, it really encapsulates Nipsey's career.
Yeah, I agree. It's a dope song. But for me, I'm going to say I like a lot of his music. Don't get me wrong. Like, I heavily rotate a lot of his music. But I like Double Up. I know it's a new one. Like, if you're a diehard Nipsey fan, you know there's a lot of other shit. I do have a lot of other shit, but there's something about Double Up. Like, it's just the beat, the way he raps, Belly, you know, Canada, fucking Canadian on that song. Dom Kennedy's sick.
Yeah.
And fucking, you know what? Cheers to fucking Nipsey Hussle, man. Rest in peace. You're a legend. So, Diddy was on Nipsey's album.
Yeah, he was on Victory Lap too.
And Diddy is going through some fucked up shit. I know me and him were on the fence of like, how far do we want to take this? But I think it's worth mentioning.
We try not to really like gossip on here and talk about like shit that maybe didn't really happen, or like rumors, innuendo, stuff like that. Yeah. But I mean, at this point, it's like it's been major news.
Yeah. Did you hear what Denzel said about Diddy?
No, what did you say?
So he used to warn people, other actors, if you see Diddy coming, get the fuck out of this party. And he just say he used to find out from like his assistant or whatever, like if Diddy's showing up, I want to know in advance, and he would bounce like 30 minutes to 60 minutes. Like he'd get the fuck out of there. Again, I'm not gonna say it's all true or it's not, but clearly your house gets fucking raided. You have some questionable videos out there. A lot of people coming out and saying some fucked up shit. I don't know if you saw it, but I sent you that the Andre Schulz stand-up today.
Yeah, Andrew Schulz, yeah.
Yeah, he had some fucking jokes that I'm like, wow, this guy wasted no time.
That shit went viral quick.
I started like bing, 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 bing. I saw this shit in all my WhatsApp groups. It's fucking
making fun
funny.
of Diddy, Meek Mill.
Fucking Meek Mill. How the fuck does this guy get caught up in all this shit?
I feel bad because Meek is actually like a dope artist. Like
he's one of my favorites.
Yeah, like he has. Do you remember when Drake tweeted? He's like best intro of all time, Dreams and Nightmares, which is true though. It probably is.
Yeah.
That's legendary. Like think about how hard it is to have a legendary song like that. Like it's hard to have a #1 hit. It's hard to go viral. It's hard to do anything. Imagine having a song that just lasts the test of time for years and years and years.
Like if I
hard, right?
hear that fucking song, I feel like
everybody knows.
I feel that like electricity. Like you fucking feel that song.
Hold up, wait a minute.
Yeah, you thought that was finished,
right?
Speaking of that, so Andrew Schulz actually made a joke, and I sort of got to share it. He was pretty much like, every celebrity has had their home robbed except for Diddy. Everybody's fucking scared to go to Diddy's house. They're scared that you're gonna walk in and Diddy's gonna be sitting there butt naked on the couch with a naked Meek Mill, Diddy petting him like a Maltese cat, and then Meek being scared of me like, oh no, wait a minute, I thought you was finished. Fuck, man. And then people calling Meek Cheek Mills. Shit, man. Like fucking poor Meek, man.
But I feel like people just feel like it's easy to peek. People feel like it's easy to pick on Meek Mill, and I think it all started because when he had the Drake beef, that he kind of, like, everyone knows he took the L in that beef.
He had to, yeah.
Like I'm a big Meek fan. I love Meek Mill,
same.
right? Like I don't really look at him any different. I don't care. I think his music's dope. I think he's cool. All that shit, But man, like with the way he came out of that beef, and then all of a sudden, like everyone just thought it was cool to make fun of Meek Mill all the time, and like, oh, he can't fight back, he won't say anything back,
He couldn't say anything back after back to back, man. Like Drake murdered him on back to back. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like Drake, and the recipe was that song was just not your typical diss. You could hear that shit anywhere, a party, a club, wherever, and you sang along with that. Like diss aside, it was just a fucking vibe, man. Like it got you turned. It was a rowdy song. Like you just wanted to hear it again and again, like back to back. The bars were fucking bars for days.
Yeah, everybody knows. Is that a world tour or a girls tour, right?
Exactly.
Like, all that stuff. Like
he killed him.
You're getting bodied by a singing. Like
yeah. So
there's so many bars that like, and it's so easy to recite. And it's catchy, like it's upbeat. I don't know. It was just like it's really smart. It's tactical warfare by Drake, right?
Exactly. Do you think, speaking of back to back, and then all that shit's going on with Drake right now, you think Drake will respond?
To Kendrick?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because if he does, I don't think it'll be anytime soon. Because, like, I think if you respond too soon, it kind of looks a certain way.
And you only got one shot, like especially against Kendrick.
Yeah.
One shot.
So I think like you let it kind of fizzle out, and then maybe you go at it.
Yeah.
I don't think he's in a rush because I mean it's not like this beef is new either, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's not.
Like it's been around forever.
Yeah. If you actually think about the shit that they've talked about,
yeah,
it's been around for a minute.
Yeah.
Did you? So actually, you mentioned tactical warfare. Did you hear about how Drake invited Ross's ex? I don't know if it's just girlfriend or baby mama.
Yeah.
Like, and she showed up.
So maybe just explain the story in case people don't know.
After Rick Ross dissed. Listen, on the last episode, I shared my opinions on what the fuck were you thinking, Rose? Like, I fucked with you heavy in rotation, and you stay scheming. All these other songs, bro, and you dropped but you fumbled the fucking bag, man. You had one job, and that's to stay chill with fucking Drizzy. But whatever, man. Let's just say Kendrick, the big three, Kendrick, Drake, Cole, are still talked about because of that shit. Rose unfollowing Drake did absolutely nothing. Fucking just made him look like a whatever. I'm not gonna hate on the guy too much because I still fuck with Rose. Like, he still got dope music. I'm not gonna hate on his.
But mind you, there might be a really good reason why he unfollowed.
So yes,
Drake don't even know.
Drake is the petty king. Like, everybody says it. Kanye said it. Like, this
Everybody
guy plays
knows,
tactical warfare.
Tactical, yeah, that's what it is.
He maybe Drake started this shit, and everybody's finally just like, like maybe everybody just catching on now. Like maybe us.
Yeah,
we are catching on now.
I think for sure we are because we don't even know. Like now, there's all these theories going around everywhere. Like
maybe they finally had enough.
Well, like I know when I first heard "What Would Pluto Do," like which is a dope song, off his last album,
yes.
right? Like
I thought it was an ode to Pluto.
I thought it was an ode to Future because he's like, "What would Pluto do?"
Yeah.
You put the whole
so I did it. Yeah,
and we're like, "Oh, dope!" Like these guys are best friends, but it turns out, hell no, like it's not even close. And now people are speculating, like, "Oh, is he just saying like, oh, Future would have done it, so that's why I did it." And he's basically just throwing shots at Future, kind of being like, "What are you mad at me for? You would have done it too."
Yeah,
so,
man, like,
and
have you seen that girl? This is all over, or this is about
that Princess Diana chick?
Yeah, man, like she's not even all that.
But even then, like that, because then Drake getting ahead of it, it kind of like again, he's a petty king, right? So he airs it out first, but he doesn't air it out to the public.
Yeah.
So like Future would know what he's talking about. How the hell would any of us know? None of us knew, right? So
King of subliminals.
Yeah. So with that said, it's like now what does Future do? Does he respond to Drake? Because then it looks like, oh, Future's bothered by it. He's upset, so he's responding. But if he doesn't respond, then it's like, oh, he's not responding to Drake. So it's kind of like a lose-lose.
The inner circles know what's going on. We just sort
of we had no idea.
We assumed,
because like Drake always does that shit. Like remember even when he dropped God's Plan, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I only love my bed and my mom. I'm sorry. So
that was a fucking catchy part.
Yeah, and like, none of us knew his son's middle name is Mabet. Like, and this whole time everyone's singing along, singing his son's name, not even knowing that he even has a son. Like,
fuck, man.
Not knowing his son's name, like none of that stuff. Like that's pretty.
That was next level shit too.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But this guy, like, he's been involved in some controversies, eh?
Yeah,
like he's taken some shit from some people, but I feel like Baka Not Nice, like, he's a crew member. He's finally, these guys are starting to have enough, man. Like, I've never seen them threaten the other artists or the gangs, but Baka Not Nice came out and said, "Yo, like, everyone against Drake, like, it's it, like, fuck you," type of shit, And then Chubbs, because supposedly Adam Ross said that Kendrick's got a fully recorded diss song ready to go, like, pop.
Yeah, he said that on his live stream. He's like, Kendrick, well, I don't know what kind of fucking source he is, but
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but he probably knows more than we do.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure Kendrick ain't calling up Adam Ross and be like, "Yo, man, I got a fully recorded hit against Drake, recorded sitting in my vault."
Yeah, like he's the only guy that knows this. But yeah, I mean,
but I gotta give it to like Drake's crew, man. They're loyal. Like Chubbs was like, "Yo, like,
you better be fucking loyal."
Yeah, he did a lot for them, man.
Drake's damn near worth how much money? Like, he's taking all his boys with him. Like,
I will say that he he is probably the only guy that I know in modern time history. There might be some other guys, but that has literally like kept his inner circle in the inner circle and made them all successful in their own ways.
There's also some theories about like started from the bottom.
Oh, Future.
You ever hear about that? Yeah. Like people are like, Future actually coined that term, and then Drake made a song about it, and Future was salty about that.
I think it was something else. It was like started from the bottom, and then there like it was something else that was said, not for like Now We Hear. But then Drake liked it, kept it, but didn't credit him, and that's a huge fucking thing I think in the industry. If you don't credit somebody on their shit, like, which doesn't happen a lot.
But even that, I feel like when you look at like when that song came out, that was like a turning point in Drake's career too. It was pretty crazy. Like
yeah, I agree with that.
So I can imagine why Future would be like, yo, shit, that's a huge smash, and you know, like give me my credit, give me, at least pay me or something. Like,
yeah. Did you see, like, I guess, you know, we've been talking about Kendrick a little bit. Did you see the other night LeBron warming up in pregame singing word for word like that? Kendrick's part, including the Drake diss, word for word.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think that's what makes it crazy diss though, is like, yeah, I mean, Kendrick's directly dissing, but it's so catchy, like we all want to sing it.
Exactly.
We're all like, we're listening to it on repeat, and we're like, this is so dope as fire.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I was DJing the other night, and I so badly wanted to put it on, but I was conflicted because, like, I don't know, like, do people only know this as a Drake diss now, or is it still considered an actual song?
You know what? If Kendrick never even like mentioned Drake, I think I mean, obviously the shock value is like what really draws you in. Yeah. But even then, it's a dope song. It's Kendrick, his Future. Kendrick comes hard, like it's catchy. Future did his thing, like yeah. It's still a dope song. So I don't feel like. I mean, LeBron's always been a Drake fan. Everyone knows that. Like, I don't think he's picking sides and none of that shit.
Yeah, no, Drake and LeBron have been homies, man. Like, even at that other shit that LeBron was doing, the barbershop shit, that's where Drake openly came and talked with the whole Kanye thing. So, like, they're down. But I will say, LeBron's a hip hop head. Like,
yeah, he is.
He loves his music.
And that's the thing, right? Like, that's just like that's kind of what I'm getting at too. It's like it's such a dope song. Like, I don't think it's like, oh, if I sing along to this. It kind of ties back to even like the back-to-back disc we were talking about, right? Like, like I'm a Meek Mill fan, but I sing along to back-to-back. It doesn't mean like I don't like Meek Mill. It just means that's a good ass song.
Yeah, no, you know, the crazy thing is though, like when I really think about this, like, and I don't know if you agree, but like, man, like Drake brought Kendrick on his tour like back in the day when Kendrick was still sort of a nobody, and then like. J. Cole introduced Kendrick to Dr. Dre, got him signed, and Kendrick was on Take Care, which I personally feel is Drake's like one of Drake's biggest albums.
Yeah, I think most people would agree that Take Care is probably his best album, if not his best. I mean,
one of the best,
top 2 at least.
But it just makes you think though, like this shit's so fucking intertwined, man.
It is,
like. These guys aren't just like some new beefs and bullshit over a couple songs. Like they've been down. They got history, and that shit was back what, like 2000 and I don't even remember like how long ago. You know, Cole introduced Dre. I think it was like 2011, 2012, some shit like that. So this shit's super fucking intertwined.
Yeah, it's been like a decade already. So that's the crazy thing is like these guys, the big three, right? So-called big three, but they actually lasted. It's pretty crazy to last 10 years. Because there were other people, there used to be a top 5. Like, there's guys that came and went, whether it's Big Sean, whether it's Wale, and not to say, like, they're not good or they're not worthy, but it's just, like, it's hard to last a test of time and for people, like, the general consensus for people to keep you in that discussion. But these three, they definitely stayed there, and they did come up together. Like you said, they're on each other's albums, like J. Cole, he produced High Power, which was even before Kendrick dropped, That was on Session 80, right? Yeah. And like they were homies. There's videos of them together, and Drake and J. Cole had In the Morning. Like there's so many things. You go back, like these guys really were intertwined.
Actually, So on a complete side note, you were saying Cole's gonna be producing or getting back in his producer bag.
Yeah. So if any of y'all seen the my Delete Later vlogs, which is a really dope album rollout in my opinion, for the fallout for his next album.
Which I'm riled for that.
Yeah. It shows like J. Cole's like hard, like back in the lab. He wants to be like, I'm back on my producer shit too, not just rapping.
And I think that was like, don't get me wrong, like Cole on other people's shit was dope.
Yeah.
But Cole on his own shit was something else.
I think it's both because I say this about everybody. I'm a huge whatever fan, but like I'm a huge J. Cole fan for real though.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Like I've been on Cole
the one
forever.
thing I regret is never going to the Cole concert.
Oh man, I went to Cole's earliest concerts.
Yeah,
man.
I heavily regret that.
I still have my I bought like merch and everything. It was dope.
Yeah.
But the thing is like Cole is dope on his own beats and I like his production too. But when you hear him only on his own beats all the time, like it kind of starts to feel like you want to hear him on other top producers' beats.
But that's what I mean. Like
too.
It's good. Don't get me wrong. But like I
hope he mixes it up.
Yeah, but like it's been long enough where I think it's time for him to.
Yeah, I agree because he has some classics on his own beats, which is pretty dope. You produce it, you rap it, you like that. That's a hell of a skill.
Yeah, like it shows you, man. This guy is nobody to fuck with. Like,
yeah.
And he just actually bought his masters back from Jay-Z, so like
he did.
He knows he's sitting on a gold mine.
And I think this is perfect for him because he's doing his album rollout. He's been quiet. He hasn't said shit about the diss. Nothing, right?
Technically,
everyone knows him and Kendrick are homies. They almost did an album together or a project together, whatever you want to call it. Like everyone knows about that too.
Yeah.
But I think what he's doing is he's gonna address it. He will, but you're gonna have to wait for his album, his single, or something. Exactly.
Brilliant. Like
he's
the
probably
publicity and the marketing you're getting just from that alone is fucking insane.
This is probably like the perfect storm for him. He's like, all right, cool.
Yeah. Talking about a perfect storm, actually, the fact that you said that. Did you see PND's new album?
That was
cover. Like, holy fuck! Like, I'm gonna show it right here, right fucking here. It's fucked up, man. Like, this guy just like,
I don't even know how you can release that shit.
Like, it's literally a chick on her fucking fours on the bed, which literally looks like it's a real fucking picture too. Like, not like, you know, it's a pose. Like, it literally looks like he's probably gonna fuck this chick later or some shit.
It might be a screen cap from.
That's what I mean, right? Like, pull out my camera, I'm gonna take a picture.
A homemade video.
It's literally the epitome of like anything can be an album cover nowadays. It's wild. Once again, right here, I will show it to you right here.
But you know what I will say is like, yeah, I think P&D is cool, like whatever, right? Like, but I won't really like totally go out of my way to check out his shit. Like, if it piques my interest, I'm like, all right, cool, I'll check it out. Yeah. But now I'm fully aware that he's dropping an album because
after that you will, like, I guarantee you're gonna fucking get that.
And that's what I mean. Like, that's the power of like album artwork and like single artwork stuff like that, because you see that and like now everyone's gonna be talking about it. I don't even like, can you even release that? Like, that doesn't
technically, he's not showing anything in that sense of like nudity. It's literally just like her head, shoulders, back, and it cuts off right at her ass where there's like a tattoo.
That's crazy.
So I don't know, man. Like, maybe he's pushing the fucking
that's
boundaries.
Been proven to work. Because do you remember when Kendrick dropped the Damn album cover? Everyone was like, this shit's so basic. Like, what the fuck is this? But everyone got talking about it. It served its purpose.
Fuck. Man, like, so that's jogging my memory. There's a lot of covers we can talk about. Good, bad, the ugly, like whatever you want to call it. We will. You know what? Let's hold off because I feel like I want to touch up base on that on another episode because there's a lot of shit.
Man, there's a lot of it. Like,
I personally think Take Care was a dope one. There's something about
one of my recent, like, if we're just talking about recent favorites, like one that comes to my mind is I love Travis Scott's.
Oh yeah.
Like the rodeo one with like the action figure, and then he kind of did a callback to that on Utopia.
Yeah.
So like I thought that was really dope. But yeah, actually, you know what? We'll save it. Comment and tell us like your favorite album or single artwork. Maybe we'll touch on that. I think we should deep dive on that. That'd be a good one.
That'd be a good one.
Because we could do classic album covers. Like, I don't even want to name the classic ones.
Like,
already so much shit's
No
going
Limit, all that shit back in the day, like the shit they started.
I'm not
even
gonna say it. I'm thinking of
fuck,
some shit
man.
Right
now. I don't watch wrestling as much anymore, but lately I feel like wrestling's sort of making a pretty big comeback. A lot of rap, a lot of fucking artists, hip hop artists involved in their intricate shit. But like wrestling,
they had Travis Scott on Monday Night Raw the other week. Lil Wayne was on Monday Night Raw tonight.
And you were saying he's on. He's gonna release a song.
He's gonna be at WrestleMania.
WrestleMania 40.
So Meek Mill is doing like WrestleMania promos.
Man.
And Lil Wayne said he's gonna perform his new single
that should be sick.
at WrestleMania.
Like that's crazy to think that like rap has become so big that like it's in wrestling now. Like back in the day when we were coming up like little kids, like wrestling, rap, like there'd be two guys pushing that like
that's really
right. Like no one gave a fuck. It was more like rock, heavy rock.
Yeah, it was more like
shit.
rock and wrestling. But
now it's straight up like Travis Scott. You said Uzi was on
last WrestleMania. Lil Uzi was at WrestleMania.
You went to that one.
Yeah, I went there. That was dope.
Yeah,
hell of an experience.
So I don't watch this stuff that much, but when I saw his snaps, I was like, "Fuck, man! I wish I would have went."
It was wild. Yeah, honestly, it was like a bucket list item for me. Like I want to go to that. I want to go to the Super Bowl. But man, I'm glad I crossed off. It was a crazy experience, man. You gotta see it. It's a spectacle. I don't even know what
the setup looked.
It's
insane.
larger than life. It really is.
Did you see Rock? He's on online claiming he's like claiming something about like what was it? Rock's claiming to be cool.
Oh, but like, he's like he made wrestling cool again. But man, it's wild because they're doing like tonight's Monday Night Raw. They broke the attendance record apparently. Like they did like over 15,000 people on a TV show Monday night in Barclays Center, Brooklyn. Like they're doing huge numbers. Like
after
huge.
McMahon sold that shit.
Well,
now they're hitting numbers.
But look how crazy that is that they got rid of all that negative publicity and now we're talking about all this positive stuff.
They're
right?
smart, man.
Man, they're fucking killing it. Like that's wild. Like we said, like we mentioned the celebrities are bringing in and man, it's a huge machine, man. It's like the way they operate, like the business they're doing, it's insane. They signed that. How big was the deal they did with Netflix?
Oh, I don't even know, man. That's like a few hundred million or billion or some shit like that.
Man, yeah.
Like when you're talking about that, like
when you're talking about billions.
You know you're doing some good shit.
Oh
man. But I think we've covered on some solid shit this week. We've hit that wrestling. We've hit the Meek Mill. We've hit the Diddy. Did he do it? Did he not? I don't know. Fuck, man. That's like a whole other thing. We'll keep... We'll talk about it every time it comes up. If something huge comes up again, I mean...
If it's in the news, you gotta talk about it.
You gotta throw it out there because, I mean, fuck, like...
If it's not going away anytime soon, at least.
And I really hope, like, to be honest, I really hope that there's... On a side note, like, it's crazy that Kendrick, Drake, Cole have such a huge chokehold on the market right now that the fact that, like, no matter what, like, Kodak Black is, people are assuming after his new release that he might be announcing that he's converted to Muslim, the Muslim religion. Like, there's so many little things coming up that people don't even give a shit about because everybody keeps reverting back to what's going to happen next. Who fucking knows? They've got a chokehold on the game right now. It's crazy. Never thought we'd see it. But I think it's a wrap for today. Subscribe, like, comment, all that shit. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Support it, man. This was Distracted. We out.
Another one.
It's a wrap. Mama.